Welcome back to Maggie and Perloff, and this is what I truly love about Radio Row, is that we give you Hall of Famers, we give you current stars, we give you actors and comedians, and now we have one of the biggest entrepreneurs, best-selling author, speaker. Am I going to get everything right in here? Gary
What about diehard Jets fan?
And I was going to get to diehard
That's
Jets.
first.
You've got your Garrett Wilson shirt on. We had him on our set a couple days ago. Garrett Wilson wins Offensive Rookie of the Year last night, and Sauce Gardner wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. That's like the best moment I think the Jets have had in a decade.
Maggie, not only that, first of all, thanks for having me on the show. Great to see both
thank you,
of you.
Gary V.
Not only that, Joe Klecko and Darrelle Revis got into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
This was on my Jets thread, which is, 50 times a day with my 7 to 10 best Jets friends. We literally said, this is sad, but this is probably the second best day in Jets history behind January 12th, 1969.
It was a great day.
Rookie of the Year on both sides of the ball and 2 Hall of Famers, 2 guys that I got to watch play. Revis, I saw every snap of his career. It was a nice day, but we are very focused on this offseason. This is as big of an offseason in Jets history because the stakes are high because so many pieces are in place.
I know. You could have a direct line to Rodgers. Are you trying to plant seeds like, hey, come here, you're going to be okay?
No, I'm not. Because really, I don't like doing things when I don't have all the data. And here's what I mean by that. I've been hanging out here at Radio Row. Every question, of course, is what do you want the Jets to do at quarterback? And the reality is between Rodgers or Derek Carr, I think Tannehill's probably in play. Jimmy G. Baker, one could even bring that conversation going. What I don't know is what's the deal? I don't want Aaron Rodgers for 2 number ones and a 2 and a 3. I don't want that.
If he plays one season or whatever. Yeah.
Plus the bigger conversation, which is, and I know I'm on a small island on this, but I don't think it makes a whole lot of sense to throw Zach Wilson out of the equation. And what I mean by that is, tell me which person between Jimmy and Derek and Aaron at this point in their lives are also interested in allocating 5 or 10% of their energy to being a remarkable mentor and guiding light to Zach. That, if I'm Woody Johnson, which I'd like to be one day, if I'm Joe Douglas, if I'm Robert Saleh, that is a major part of this conversation that I don't think we're talking about. The pizzazz of Aaron Rodgers, and we've done that with Brett Favre. That's 5 minutes ago. I remember that. It's like deja vu.
Yeah.
We know what that looks like. What about the fact that you still took a kid 24 months ago, number 2 overall, and I'm very aware that it has not gone well. But I want to remind people, 4 minutes ago, Trevor Lawrence was a bust.
Yep.
A year and a half into his career, his last 9 games changed the conversation. Your boy Josh Allen's first 18 months was not super exciting. And so some of these kids need time to develop.
Do you think the roster is at a place, if you add Aaron Rodgers, it could be a Super Bowl? I mean, Matthew Stafford won it with the Rams.
Yeah.
It has to be tempting. I mean, the
It
defense.
does. I would say that the Rams were so vet-oriented and the Jets are younger.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Look, the Jets have as good of a situation as in the NFL based on what their kids cost. Garrett Wilson and Sauce are 2 years ahead of time. I literally prayed to God that they would be the players they were last year in year 3. The players they were last year in year 3 was my greatest hope. Not to mention, Elijah Vera-Tucker is an all-world offensive lineman. He got hurt.
Yep.
Breece Hall looks all the part. He had 2 massive touchdown runs prior to getting hurt and was the engine of that offense. I mean, there's a lot there.
If you guys had Breece Hall, you would have beat the Bills
By the
in
way,
one of
this
those
is-
games. Gary V. This
way
is the
too much
most
Jets
Jets
talk
talk.
on Super Bowl. This is Radio Row.
By the way, we did beat the Bills one of those 2 games last year.
Yeah, no, it would have been what would have been. Okay, so Gary.
Yes.
Enough of the Jets talk.
Okay,
even
fair
though that
enough.
was a
Fair enough.
fantastic day yesterday for Jets fans and could be
Yes.
the start of something great.
Yes.
Okay, you were entrepreneur, as I said, speaker. You were an angel investor, Facebook, Twitter. You can see things, before they come, trends. What practical advice do you have for people who are listening who want to see the next thing? Where is it coming? What do you see 18 months into the future?
I think there's a couple things. Curiosity. You're not going to find the next thing if you're not looking for it. Are you genuinely a curious person? You could say you'd like remarkable things to happen, but are you putting in the work? You two did not achieve this career in this field by mailing it in. You guys grind. The respect I have for everybody at Radio Row is so intense that is doing the shows because there's so much internships, grinding, eating crow for a decade, waking up at 3 a.m. for a decade. Like, everyone sees you now, but what about the grind that got you here? So, one, if you want to find the next best thing, you got to put in the work and you got to be curious. Number two, it's always in your face. The answer to finding the next big thing is being a yes person versus a no person. Let me explain. The next big thing is obvious to a lot of people here. It's called Chat GPT. It's called artificial intelligence. Yeah. Everybody knows it right now. It's in the air. Do you know how many people, Mags, in this entire hall right now dismiss it as bad? Oh, it's going to take people's jobs away. So is the tractor. We were all doing farm jobs, and then a tractor was invented, and that took people's jobs away. They found different jobs. Most people are no people. No to TikTok. No to ChatGPT. No to VR. No to AR. They fear new things. No. What about streaming services in Hollywood? What about radio terrestrial? People just say no, when the world is always yes. Yeah. That's my answer to the question.
Wait, can a follow up on that? And you'll know this as this getting into your Jets experience as well.
Please.
How do you deal with failure?
You're right.
That was a shot, but how important is it?
No, it's not a. You know what's funny? I grew up a huge Yankees and New York Rangers fan, along with the Jets and Knicks. When the Rangers won the Cup in '94 and the Yankees won the World Series in '96, I stopped following them hardcore.
Why?
I'm not sure. Because it's crazy, because I really missed a good Yankees run.
Yeah, I was going to say, Gary, you bailed at the wrong time.
I didn't bail because I thought it wouldn't be good or bad or indifferent. It's that the thing was accomplished. I actually enjoy the failure. I think what makes me a weird sports fan, because that's weird.
Yeah.
Like, that's not what like most people do.
Most people want to be Patriots fans now,
Correct.
Right? Chiefs fans.
Correct. I deal with failure because I don't think it means I'm a failure. I deal with failure because I think it's part of the process. It's the requirement for something great. I even am a little secretly into it. Like, I like being underestimated. I like being razzed. I like it because I'm competitive, and I like that feeling of I'll show you but it's not a unhealthy chip on the shoulder because I want you to win too. I just want to work for it. There's something very attractive to me of earning it versus the alternative.
Gary, last one for you.
Please.
And thanks for making time for us today, because you're awesome. People out there, if you're listening to this, if you're in a rut, if you want to change, you're not really sure even how to get started, what's the first thing? What's your advice to people?
Take a step. First of all, you know what? A deep breath is kind of neat. No joke. Yeah. Even right now, I might want to take one. It's just crazy what that does. And that actually happens physically. If you're listening right now, actually take a very deep breath. You'd be stunned what happens. Let's actually. It's kind of it's interesting to me. It slows it down by a hair. The virtual, the macro mental version of that, which is if you're in a rut, everything that got you there is actually irrelevant. Irrelevant. Just because the last 42 years of your life haven't gone the way you want it doesn't mean the next 42 can't. Being very sports nerdy about it, just because the Chargers are up 27-0 doesn't mean they're going to win the game, right? And so, to me, understanding that truth and understanding that you are actually capable of changing things, but you have to change your behavior. And so the tangible one instead of the mental one is the following. You must cut negativity out of your life, whether that is your mother. And I don't mean never talk to her again, but maybe you don't need to talk to your mom 4 times a day or she's complaining 4 times a day. Maybe it could be once every 2 days. You need to stop listening. This is why the news is a disaster for most people.
Yeah.
All it's going to do is scare you and make you unhappy. You need to start cutting negativity out, and you need to start bringing positivity in. You might have a coworker who's just genuinely a gleeful person, and you kind of know them. What about asking them out for lunch? What about becoming a friend with them? Cutting negativity, adding positivity is how you get out of ruts.
Gary,
thanks.
Have access to your brain for a little bit, we are better for it. Gary V, you obviously can follow him on all social channels. Best-selling author. We have 6 books now.
Yes.
Best-selling author, speaker, entrepreneur, VaynerX Media, Vayner Sports. I mean, Google him, guys. Gary V. Thank you, Gary. Appreciate it.
Thank you, brother.